My friends, there are people who tell truth, and there are people who lie. And in my experience, it's the ones who lie who make the most noise. My name is Howard Real. This is Real Truth. Welcome. Here's some truth that's not making a lot of noise. I wish it would. I wish more people would hear it. Item from the Daily Wire. Attorney General William Barr responded to the Justice Department Inspector General's report on the FBI's abuse of the Fisa system to surveil the Trump campaign by slamming the FBI for withholding exculpatory evidence from their filings with the Fisa court. The Inspector General's report now makes clear that the FBI launched an intrusive investigation of a U.S. presidential campaign on the thinnest of suspicions that, in my view, were insufficient to justify the steps taken, said Attorney General Barr. It's also clear that from its inception, the evidence produced by the investigation was consistently exculpatory. Nevertheless, the investigation and surveillance was pushed forward for the duration of the campaign and deep into President Trump's administration. Barr continues, in the rush to obtain and maintain FISA surveillance of Trump campaign associates, FBI officials misled the FISA court, omitted critical exculpatory facts from their filings, and suppressed or ignored information negating the reliability of their principal source. The Inspector General found the explanations given for these actions unsatisfactory, Barr said. While most of the misconduct identified by the Inspector General was committed in 2016 and 2017 by a small group of now former FBI officials, the malfeasance and misfeasance detailed in the Inspector General's report reflects a clear abuse of the FISA process, unquote. Barr's statement comes as the Inspector General found, quote, serious problems with the way the FBI conducted itself while trying to surveil the campaign. The report outlined 17 inaccuracies and omissions in the FBI's FISA application of then-Trump campaign advisor Carter Page, and also found the top officials doctored evidence that was used against Page. FISA is an essential tool for the protection of the safety of the American people, Barr said. The Department of Justice and the FBI are committed to taking whatever steps are necessary to rectify the abuses that occurred and to ensure the integrity of the FISA process going forward. No one is more dismayed about the handling of the FISA applications than Director Wray. Barr continued, talking about FBI Director Wray. I have full confidence in Director Wray and his team at the FBI, as well as the thousands of dedicated line agents who work tirelessly to protect our country. I thank the Director for the comprehensive set of proposed reforms he's announcing today, and I look forward to working with him to implement these and other appropriate measures, unquote. That's the long and short of it. The FISA application was used for political purposes. This Inspector General Horowitz said there was a lot wrong with what was done, but it was not for political purposes, and he is a former Obama appointee. Okay, Horowitz is on the Obama side of the equation, so it doesn't surprise me to hear him shave the truth down, at least a little bit. The facts are what the facts have been all along. The FBI and other agencies broke the laws, broke the rules, surveilled Trump and everyone connected with him in the hopes of derailing his candidacy. It's a disgusting spectacle. It's un-American. And now it's being brought to light. People are saying that the Durham report, which is due sometime in the next several days or a week or two, will really put the screws to the people in charge. I'm thinking about people like John Brennan and James Clapper, who are real pieces of garbage. Well, I hope it does. But even in advance of the Durham report, I want to know today, right now, all these things, these 17 omissions and inaccuracies by the FBI, who's going to pay for that? Who's going to be fired? Who's going to be put in jail for that? I asked the same question yesterday, my friends. I don't see anything happening. I see a lot of talk. I see reports being written, which is good, I guess, for people who write reports. It's not so good for the United States of America. I want to see progress. Now, staying on that note of American progress, let's jump tracks a little bit from the New York Times Dateline, Hyderabad, India. India took a major step toward the official marginalization of Muslims on Tuesday as one House of Parliament passed a bill that would establish a religious test for migrants who want to become citizens, solidifying Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Hindu nationalist agenda. The measure would give migrants of all South Asia's major religions a clear path to Indian citizenship, except Islam. It is the most significant move yet to profoundly alter India's secular nature, enshrined by its founding leaders when the country gained independence in 1947, unquote. My friends, to no one's surprise, the New York Times once again gets it wrong. Thank goodness you got guys like me to get it right, right? The New York Times says that what India is doing is part of its Hindu nationalist agenda. Wrong. That's true, 80% of the country is Hindu. But what they're doing is not an attempt to solidify a nationalist agenda. It's an attempt to keep a razor blade from being placed at its throat. India is seeking to protect itself against Muslim jihadis. The more Muslim immigrants in the country, the more jihadis, the more foment there will be, the more crime, the more vicious murders. And China says no. And I applaud India says no, and I applaud India for its stance. China has also said no to facing jihadis within its own borders, just as Hungary has done, just as Japan has done, and other countries as well. The United States is not doing it, and it makes me want to weep. Countries are beginning to realize that where you have Muslims, you have Islamofascism, you have violence, you have horror, and they're saying no thank you. Only in America do we have tens of millions of people who say, yeah, bring them all in. Let's get more Muslims in here, because then we'll have more murders and more mayhem and more political intrigue. Other countries of the world are protecting themselves from Muslim influence, from jihad. And we need to start doing that too. If liberals don't like it, well, they are free to find addresses in other countries. It's Tuesday, and it's Real Truth, and we'll be back.